Good morning. Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to another Midweek Watch. Should be fun. TheGoose games. Just a quick sound check. Make sure you guys could hear me okay. If you could type in the YouTube chat. Oh, thanks, Raul. Thank you. Give it a few minutes and then we'll get started. I'm going to try to go through the beginning stage, a little quicker so I get to the symbols that I'm going through for the Goose games. I feel like I rushed through them a little bit at the end there. But we'll see how it all plays out. I'll do my best. Thank you, Raul. I looked all over the house for this awesome fishing hat I used to have, and I was going to wear it, but couldn't find it. Such a bummer. I was going to come in with my fishing hat today. And my fishing pole. Everybody needs props. Ricky has what is that drink that he drank that one time by the pool? Moscow Mules as his prop. I needed a prop. Next time. Good morning, Papa John. All right, we will get started in a couple minutes, guys. Just letting people join in. Hope everybody's having a good week. Hopefully you're managing yourself well through this turbulence. That would have been funny, right, Raul? Show up with my fishing pole and fishing hat. See that all over Twitter as you release it out there. Too much. Hey, Jose. Good morning. It's going to be a cold weekend down here. Supposed to get in the 30s, guys, down in South Florida. That's nuts, huh? Yes, I'm a weatherman, too. Thanks, Tesh. All right, guys, it is approaching 8:30. We're going to get going in a second and get through the early stuff. I got a couple quick things to chat with you guys about before we get into the Goose games. It's supposed to be real cool. We got a flag football game on Sunday. My kids are going to freeze their butts off. All right, let's get going, guys. It's 8:30. We can start this recording and start rolling here. So just so you know, it's Jason here. I'm one of the pro traders over at TrueTrader.net. For you guys that don't know me, I was a former market maker. I've been in the business since the early 90s. I've been around. I've seen a lot. I'm here to just give you guys some of my thoughts and ideas every Thursday morning, 8:30, to go over this midweek watch with you guys. What I ask for you guys is make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel. And make sure you guys are leaving comments if you need. Any questions answered or anything like that, I will approach, and answer questions as much as I can. So the other thing I wanted to mention to you guys is make sure you guys are tuning in to Ricky on his Sunday preps. One of the things I love about what Ricky's doing is, his Sunday preps are, probably an hour long. They're great to listen back to as well. There's a lot of psychological stuff that he's going over and covering. And the cool part about it is, I don't remember how long Ricky's been doing this for, 10 years or I don't remember exactly. He could tell you. But it's been a while, and And one of the things that the reason I'm mentioning that to you is he's gone through, every stage of the psychological stuff that he's talking about every weekend. And it's kind of funny to listen to because I've known him for quite a few years now. And to hear like some of the stuff he's talking about and some of the things that I know that him and I even worked with other people on to try to help. It's amazing. So it's a gift that he's given every Sunday. Make sure you guys are tuning into that. I see that there's great feedback, a lot of views on his thing. Keep up the great work, Ricky. But that's on Sundays, by the way. But I think it's 5 o'clock. If somebody wants, Raul, if you want to correct me on the time, I think it's 5 o'clock. He does it on Sundays. So a lot of times I end up watching it back because I'm busy with the kiddos. But it's definitely worth the watch back and to tune in and also leave comments there as well. If you guys have any other questions, leave them in the comments section. Like I said, let me get 5:30. Thank you, Benito, on that. So that's at 5:30, guys, on Sundays. His Sunday watch. All right, so let me dive into the disclaimer, guys. I got a couple things I do want to talk to. Here we go. Let's switch this to disclaimer. True Trader nor its representatives are not registered as a security broker dealer or investment advisor with the SEC or any state regulatory authorities. We are not licensed nor qualified to provide investment advice. Guys, I'm not a licensed broker anymore. I'm not here to give you investment advice. This is 100% for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so do not follow me. Do not copy me. Have your own plans always. We preach that. Manage your own risk, and so forth. That is actually it's Eastern time. It's 5 o'clock Eastern time. I thought it was 5 o'clock. Jeez, Benito. Just to review that again, guys, so you guys don't listen back. It's 5 o'clock Eastern time on his Sunday call. All right, let's go to a screen share here. So I just want to cover, before I talk about the market real quick, it's kind of doing what I've been talking about. I did kind of last week give you guys some warning as far as some more capitulation type stuff that happened, and it did, it came down. I don't know whether it's, full on and we're done yet or not. I'm not here to guess the market. I want to talk about the market in a second, but there's a couple topics I want to talk to you guys about before I get into the market, and then some symbols with you guys. And I just want to make sure you guys understand, there's a couple terminology things that are being thrown around, and I want to talk to you guys about fishing. And what I mean by that is like bottom fishing, looking for opportunities for swings. And even if you're looking at intraday, just a couple quick things I just want to make sure that you guys are looking at and maybe that you don't miss when you're looking at these type of things. First of all, is you're hearing right now is the market, are these inside days? And I've had some questions about that, as far as what an inside day is. I don't know if you guys have heard that terminology or not. And all we're talking about, by the way, guys, on that are you see this big, huge candle that we have here, this big, this is a SPY you're looking at. And all it is when the low and the high, it makes a lower high and a higher low on the candles, what they call an inside day. It's normally a bullish indicator, is how I view those type of things. And it goes along the theory of kind of lower, a higher lows on this. Now, obviously, I look for higher lows and higher highs, which we had yesterday. So, higher low on this candle here on the SPY, which I just wanted to discuss this one inside day type thing. You got a higher high and then you had a higher high from this. So that's a good indicator for me. It's not, we're off to the moon. Here we go. Let's go. I still think there's a little bit of, which I'll talk about. I want to get into the swing thing first with the market. There might still be a little bit left in this as far as consolidation, maybe off lows. I still think there's a little bit of volatility left, I guess is the best way to say it. But let's talk about bottom fishing for a sec. So just a couple quick things I want to mention to you guys. It's something I've learned when it comes to bottom fishing. First of all, there's some amazing opportunities out there, guys. I mean, there's some stocks that, like the Walmarts, the Disneys, look at Netflix. I mean, you guys really on Netflix? I mean, there's some pretty incredible names that have really gotten beaten down. And the one thing that I want to make sure that you guys know on when it comes to bottom fishing is it's not always the same names. Some of these names like Peloton and Beyond, and some of these names, have had just amazing runs for some of these growth names, right? And I think that we have a habit, and this is what I want to talk about this morning, is we have a habit of going back to those names, what you saw last year. And I just want you guys to kind of clear your heads, especially when you're looking at growth, and look at new growth names. Look at names that kind of held up during this market turbulence and maybe still above the 200 day or the 50 days. And names that have, come down a little bit with the markets, but, they might not be names you're familiar with. You could scan for these names on FinViz. I use MarketSmith. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to scan for these type of names. And the big thing with this is I don't always just go back to names you know. I know that the Microns, the AMDs, and NVIDIAs are always going to be around, from a technology basis. But like, there's ways to also dive into when you're looking at swings. And I know I'm rambling a little bit, and I'll try to keep it short. But when you're looking at swings, look at some of the ETFs. You could look at it like an XLE right now. You could see clearly, this is the energy sector, right? Sector fund. I mean, you could see this. I mean, you could see what energy is doing right now. So you could, look in that industry. So there's ways to, kind of find names. But I just want to make sure that you guys aren't scanning for the same type of names. Another thing that's really important is you'll see a whole sector beat to death. Like, let's talk about technology. All these names that are just beaten down on technology, right? And what people have a habit of doing when they're looking at swings or maybe putting some swings away in their books is next thing you know, they have AMD, they have Micron, they got Apple, they had NVIDIA, and they're like, oh, I feel so great, we're all done. Guys, be very, very careful about overloading yourself in one sector. I like to keep it to a couple names in a sector. And just, want to throw that out to you as well, just as a defense mechanism that if a sector stays heavy and doesn't find the bids, remember, it's not going to be you and I that's going to all of a sudden start making these stocks go higher. It's going to be the institutions. It's going to be the big boys that do this. So, you want to be in there, during those levels. Look for key levels of support, prior support from, maybe March in 2020. Some of these names are down out. They're consolidating, even with this, market craziness over the last week or so. Look for names that kind of held in there through that all. Because personally, I do think that we're getting close to a bottom. Okay, I really do. That's just me, though. Again, it's an opinion, which I'll talk about the market in a second. And then the other thing is regarding size. Listen, guys, there's something that we have in our brains. I don't know what it is. It's something it still goes on. We still make the mistakes all the time. And I'm talking about something that's not in your trade plan, okay? I'm not talking about having a plan when you put on intraday trade. I'm putting on a plan 90 and 89, and I'm stopping out at 88.5. I'm not talking about that when that's in your original plan. But we have a plan of adding to losers, okay? Try to flip that around. You really should be adding to winners, okay? I know it sounds a little silly, and you say, of course we should be adding to winners. That makes sense. Guess how many people do it, though? All right, so in that being said, when you're looking at swings, watch your size. Give yourself opportunity. We always think we got to go, half size. I'll go in half size. Half size is big, guys, in this kind of market. Maybe you tiptoe in at a quarter size or third size. See what the stock's doing. Wait for it to make a higher low. You could add on the higher low. Now you have risk of either your ad. You follow me with this? You have risk of where your ad is, from that recent low, or and then you're sizing up. Think of strategies that make yourself less exposed to a big wash in the market. All of a sudden you wake up and everything's gapping down 3, 4, 5, 6 points. Okay, you gotta be careful with your exposure. All right. So just make sure you guys are also managing your size. Do I think it's time to start fishing? Absolutely, is my opinion. Okay, that's again my opinion. I think it is time to start fishing. And again, fishing means bottom fishing to me, looking for opportunities, looking for swings for me. I'm probably in. I was talking to somebody the other day. I think I'm in 80% cash right now, 85% cash. So I'm looking for a lot of opportunities on this. And by the way, I wasn't in that cash position. I took some off on the way down. Just to clear my head from some dead positions. Remember, there's some old growth positions there that have come down from $40 to $20. Well, they need a 100% move just to get back to where they were before. I find that hard to believe that these names are going to find their ways back up there. I think money's going to rotate into new names or strong sectors. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. Usually, I would say if there's any questions about what I'm talking about. But I just want to cover real quick on the bottom fishing thing. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Let's continue on. I spent 10 minutes on that, but hopefully that was a little bit of a help for you guys. Just what I'm looking at, what I'm thinking about, a couple points as far as sizing, as far as when to do it, how to add to a winner. When it comes to what to look for, guys, I look for names that are beaten down, that have hold certain support levels. I look at sectors that I think are going to be stronger. I look at the 200-day and 50-day areas, how they held over the last, week and a half. You can see what the market's done over the last week. I like to see how they held during this time to make me see if they're a candidate. But I won't go back to the same names. I know I've heard so many times people talking about Peloton. all the way up from, I can't even remember when everybody was starting to ask if it was a long, and it just kept fading. And it's a good example of, just not the same name. And then they came out with news, and I said to the room that day, I said, you don't think that people knew about this? You didn't think that about this halt of production? You don't think people knew? I mean, stock drops from what, $100 to 20 or wherever it is. I mean, come on. I mean, it's that, and that's why, you gotta always trade, what you're seeing in the market. You got to trade what it's showing you. When it's making new lows on the daily, be careful, be really careful. There could be something out there. And obviously on Peloton there was, right? So let's talk about the markets for a second, guys. I kind of touched base on it. I told you guys. So what I like on this is I like these higher lows on. This is a SPY that I have up right now. Higher low, higher low, higher low. We're gapping up a little bit today. I think like 100 or so on the Dow. We'll see how that all ends up playing out. But I do like the markets. I think that we're coming to a bottom. I think that, can we make another wash on this? Absolutely. Okay, I'm not going to be here and be like, nope, I'm all in here. That's not what I just told you guys. I'm not going to do that. But do I think it's time to start picking away at some names? I personally do. Okay, I personally do. I keep coming back to the old things. Buy during maximum pessimism, sell during maximum optimism. Peter Lynch. I think everybody's waiting for this. Maybe one more wash or two, but I think the news was out yesterday, meaning like that they finally had their meeting. I think everything's out there. I think everybody expects a raise come March in regards to interest rates. I think that everything's out. The news is out. So what do? You sell on news typically, but the news is out, meaning you react on the news. Okay, so I think that the reaction was up into the news, the sell down. Now the news is out. I think it's over. I think we could get some nice pushback. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. I know I'm talking a little bit in circles there, but I get what I hopefully the point was what I made. Qs are the exact same thing. Obviously with technology, this is just coming a little bit more. I think the same type of thing. They're a little bit heavier, the NQ and the Qs. KH, I'll come down to symbols. I have about 10 symbols to go through real quick, and I'm going to start right now on that. So let's get ready into the Goose games. I don't think I have much more to talk about the market. You guys know how I feel. I think we start moving higher. I think that I don't think it goes straight up. I think we still have a little bit of volatility left. You can see it in the volatility in the NQ and the ES every day. It's way up there. Got big candles on the NQ, which is the NASDAQ future. So the volatility is still around. So just be safe. Make sure you guys come into every day with plans and trade whatever the market's showing you. Don't I have a bias. I'm obviously thinking long now, but I'm going to trade what the market gives me. You'll see today I have a whole bunch of shorts on my list. Okay, so it doesn't mean that I think the market's going straight up and we're back to the 200 days and better. We'll see how it all plays out. Let's play some Goose games, guys. Hopefully you're ready for some Goose games. Let's start off. I'm going to call out the symbol right away because I know that I'm on a delay. I'm going to type it out as well. But the first name I'm going to go after is AMAT, A-M-A-T. I'm looking for a long on AMAT, guys. A-M-A-T. What do you guys think? I will pull it up after a couple things. Hopefully the points that I made this morning made sense. I know what I wanted to say, and sometimes when you're live and you're trying to go through things, it comes out differently, but hopefully everything made sense. What do you guys think on AMAT, guys? I'm looking for a long on AMAT. Anybody have any other spots? I'm pretty conservative on this, just so you guys know. You guys are being pretty aggressive, I think. Not that it's not a good idea. So I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to show you where I'm at on this. And I want to talk about it. I'm going to give you my opinions on these names as I go. So AMAT, in my opinion, is a name that we should be looked at. It came down with the market, obviously. I like it off this level right here. You can see it's made higher low, higher low, higher low. Where I'm at actually is right down here. I'm all the way down by this prior annual pivot, prior monthly. Again, guys, I want to talk to you guys about that. I have 125.20 written down on AMAT, okay? So I like AMAT. I think it's worth. I want to make sure I wrote this down, by the way, okay? And you can also see, let me drag this. This is prior support area right here. All right. I'm not predicting the market today. The market, I don't know if you guys saw, but the Dow futures were down 400 earlier this morning. Did anybody see that? Okay, so I'm looking for volatility again today. If there's some sort of crazy volatility and this breaks these lows, I think it's coming down to here. That's just my thought. I want to be a buyer down there. So yes, I pick high levels. It's a $7 ATR on this thing. I know where we're trading right now. We're trading at 133. I think that's a fair area, that 125.20. I think it's absolutely worth watching off this 131, 131.80 area. Okay, so you guys are right as far as possibility, but I'm going to be a little bit safer down at this level right here. This prior support, prior annual, prior monthly pivot. That's where I'm looking on AMAT. Again, watch for it to hold that 130 area, though. It might be a good trade off there. Next symbol is going to be GLW. GLW, I have a long possibly written down on GLW. I can catch a drink in the meantime. Talk to me on GLW, guys. GLW. Corning. I always worry when there's a delay that 38.80, 38.80. Yeah, I'm a little bit more conservative again than you guys. So there's a pattern forming here. You guys see what what's forming is with the volatility. What's the idea? A little bit more conservative entries, perhaps, right? Just as a thought. So I have written down on ASM right there. Josh right there, Leha, yeah, right there. Let's pull it up. GLW, I'm looking for 37.50. You got a 50-day and a quarterly pivot right here. 37.50 right there. 37.30, 37.40. I went to the $37.50 area. That's what I'm looking for on GLW. Had a big day on earnings yesterday. That's also, if you draw a fib, that's probably a beautiful fib retrace back into this level, right into the 50-day. So that's what I wrote down in my notes. Numbers were the prior day. They also got an upgrade, I think, this morning from Goldman Sachs. So watch any weakness this morning if the market comes at 37.5. I know it's a couple points away, but this is a name that doesn't have a huge ATR. Had a huge day yesterday, so you might see a little give back today and an opportunity. 37.50 might be really good. Next name I'm looking for is Roblox, RBLX, a long possibly. RBLX, Roblox. Good job, guys, on that. Hopefully you guys are liking this Goose games. I think it's fun. It gives you guys an idea. It lets me go over why I'm picking the levels I am, just to throw it into your head. So maybe it helps you guys. What's the level on Roblox, guys? I wonder if the typing is right away. I can't type though. Curly says 50 on Roblox. Yeah, you guys are MS. You're right in the spot. There you go. So let's pull up Roblox here, guys. So I put on Roblox. I put 61.90 of an annual pivot in that previous low. I want to watch it off this level. Okay. This is a name. I don't know. You guys follow Roblox and what it does and all that. I think this is a name just has kind of a cult following. I think if we have I like risking it off this previous day's low and this annual pivot. So I have 61.90 written down on Roblox. So that's what my area is. Good job, MS. I know somebody else had mentioned that area as well. Good job. I could see that you guys are talking about down at the $50 area. I want to see it hold. It's been holding this level here. I know it made a low the other day, and I know it's only a few dollars away from it. But let's watch off this annual pivot and see if it wants to hold. There was a stock the other day that we had on the list. It was NVIDIA, if you remember. And it was really close to the level, but it was holding that that level for a couple days. I said, you never know on this. It might just hold it, even though the ATR is big, and do a turn and make a big push. I'm kind of feeling that on Roblox a little bit, that it might hold that level. So I want to watch that 61 to 61 to 62 area. I have 61.90 written down. Next one is going to be Texas Instruments, TXN. I have a short and a long on TXN. Let's do the long first. TXN had good numbers. TXN, guys, what do you guys think? Let's do the long. If you guys want to put both, you can put both. TXN, I got a long and a short. You can put them both out there, and then I'll cover them. How's that? TXN, a long and a short I have. So just put them right next to each other, your numbers. TXN. So I think I've said that symbol 7 times now. $174.10, $183.90, $182.95. see where it's at. Maybe I'm TXN. Let's see. Okay, so TXN, by the way, came in a little bit. It was a little bit higher. I'm still going to look at it right off this level. Again, with the numbers and everything, I'm going to tell you both sides. It's the short that I like best. So I want you guys to put the short out there, please. But the short is what I'm looking at the most. You can see right up here in this annual pivot, this prior resistance, I have 183.90 written down on the short. Annual pivot and previous high. 183.90. I'm looking at the short more than the long here on this. But TXN, I will watch it off to the prior day's low. You also have prior monthly down in that area. Let's see on TXN, but they did have good numbers. I do like 17. I've written down TXN 176.20 as a long possibly, and 183.90 as a short. And I'm leaning towards a short, by the way, guys. I want to make sure that's clear. That's my primary trade is the short. I want to watch the action off that 176.20. I think it could end up being a decent trade if the market participates. All right. Good job, guys, on that. I see a lot of you guys are down in that 173 area, which is this monthly pivot and that support area. Good job seeing that. I'm a little bit above you guys to see if it holds. You guys heard me on the short, though, what I'm looking at here. You got an annual pivot right here, previous high, and you also got the 20-day up in that area, I believe, too. All right. All right, moving along. We got a bunch of names left, and I know we're going close on time. I'll try to speed it up now. Oh, Xilinx. Xilinx, I got a long and a short as well, so put a long and a short on Xilinx. These are the only two names I have both on there. Anybody on Xilinx? XLNX. See that? Free advertising. True Trader. Got to get my free advertising in. Ha. Even my shirt. Pew. All right, let's go Xilinx. See what you got, Curly. Long 172.60. Okay, and the short is 198.80. Okay. Anybody else? ASM. Good there from the short. All right, let me pull up Xilinx here. So Xilinx, I got two things here. Let's talk about the long first of all. On TXN, the long that I have on there is right off that prior low and prior monthly pivot right down here, and then is hang on a sec. I have wait 176.20. Oh, hang on a sec. 176.20. Why do I have 176.20? Hang on. That's a wrong symbol there, guys. It's right off the previous close is what I was looking at on Xilinx. Okay, it's 170. Oh, 175.40. Sorry. I was looking at TXN. Sorry about that, guys. Losing my mind here. So Xilinx 175.40 right off the previous close, prior annual there. I'm not sure it's going to get there. What I want more on this is a 192 short. You got a monthly pivot, prior resistance, post market highs up in this area. It's getting close already, guys. It might end up being too close. This 188, this 192 area, which is what I have written down. The next spot I just want to make clear is into this quarterly pivot up at 199. So you guys that wrote 199 now that it's getting close pre-market. But again, guys, I can't tell you how many times I've had a number written down. I still want to watch it off 192. There's a monthly pivot, a prior resistance right here. See all this resistance right in here? I really think it could stop at that 192 area. So watch 192. The next level, if it blasts through it, is going to be that 199 area, okay? Let's move along. STX is my next one. I'm looking for a short on STX. It's almost 9 o'clock. It's 5 till. We got a few more symbols to go through, so I'm going to try to go a little quicker. These are just one-shot things. STX for a short. You guys are doing great, though. I love seeing the answers and looking at where you guys are choosing. And they're always, you guys are finding the right spots. You guys are looking at the pivots. You're looking at the supports, the averages, prior lows. I mean, you guys are doing a great job with that. XTX for a short. Leha, right on the money. All right, STX, I have written down on it 109.80. 109.80 is what I have written down on STX, guys. That's right off this monthly pivot exactly is where I put it. It's pushing right into this prior support area. Prior support equals what? New resistance. I think STX could be a good one, guys. So STX watch a short off 109.80, okay? Good job there, guys. You guys all pretty much got it. Daniel, good job, 109.80. Javier, everybody got it. There you go. Beautiful. All right, that was STX. Let's go to BX. Blackstone, guys. BX, symbol boy, X-ray. A long. I'm looking for a long. They have a conference call today, guys, at 9 a.m., so that might change some things into the open. We'll see how it plays out, but I do have a long written down on BX if it happens. Boy, X-ray. I appreciate the participation, guys. It seems like more and more people are participating. I love it. I'm so grateful for it. Tej, nice job there on BX. Good job, Javier, Daniel. Right on the money there. So BX, I'm looking at 113.5 on BX. 113.5. What I have written down on BX is an annual pivot, a fib retrace, and good numbers. Conference call 9 a.m., okay? So it's trading at 117 or 118 almost pre-market. Watch back into this annual pivot. 113.50 is what I have written down exactly, and it's a nice fib retrace as well. All right? So that's BX. I'm going faster because I'm running out of time here, but let's go on to EW. I'm looking for a short on EW. Possible short on EW. Good job on that one, guys. Yeah, 109s were a little bit low on that. I do see the quarterly down there, but with the good numbers and everything, I think it's going to be the buy right at that 113.5. I see a couple of you guys answered the 109 right off that quarterly on that BX Blackstone. So what do you guys think on EW for a short? I think you guys are a little bit more aggressive than me on this one. A little bit more aggressive. I have EW, just so you know what I'm looking at EW here. Is right back into the previous close, okay? Right into this previous close. You see it. I mean, again, back into support, which equals resistance. I have 108.60, which is a previous close type trade. All right, EW. You could look at yesterday's lows as well, guys. You know, prior day's lows are nice resistance levels coming from the bottom. So that's not a bad spot either, Josh. But I have written down on EW 108.60. Surprised nobody put that because that was a previous day's close. I think you guys were just looking at the candles and using that low of the candle there. Is that what you guys all answered? 107.40 was the low of that candle? Yeah, all you guys were at that low of the candle. Not bad there. That previous day's low should be some resistance. I just want to use that previous close there on EW. Two more for you guys. Next one is SHW. Sherwin-Williams. They missed their numbers. There's some things on this I want to look at here. Okay, so this. I have two spots, but let's just stick to one spot for now. There's an obvious spot for a short. Looking for a short on SHW, but I want to talk about another spot with you guys. Guys are doing great. SHW. There's only two more, guys. I mean, this one and another one. You guys that are typing, by the way, in the Goose room, I barely see that. So I see a couple. I'm now seeing a couple answers that are in the Goose room up there. I apologize, but I'm kind of just watching the chat in the YouTube where everybody's answering. So I apologize if I haven't been commenting on the Goose room chat. All right, let's. Sorry about that. Let's pull up SHW. So there's two things I want you guys to watch on this. All right. Ooh, it's already broken. Damn it. All right. I have a short at 299 was my level on this. Okay, 299. And I also have 290.275. Okay, right into this previous close. So it was a lot closer. It was like trading at like 290, 291 a little bit ago. It's obviously started to come in. But I was looking at this break. I think this thing is going to break down here. And I think there was a lot of room to the downside. So I had 290.275 that previous close for a quick push, but it was only $1.50 away. So that was the level that I want to tell you guys about. The real level, the other level I had was the 200-day and the prior high, which was up here, right? You can see this hit the previous high, 200-day, 299, that is. So that's what I was looking at. But definitely, It's already kind of started to come in as obviously as I started this, 'cause I did cycle through these names a little bit ago. But watch it back now into 292.75 for a short. 292.75 would be a decent short. That's a previous close, and there's a monthly pivot there as well, just above it. All right, last one is going to be Intel for a long, INTC. I think this name is a little bit overdone. It's something I'm looking at. Intel for a long. So just to remind you on SHW, 292.75 and 299 are the levels I'm looking at there. 292.75 and 299. I know Benito is writing these things down. Or Raul. Anything else, guys, on Intel? We're looking for a possible long on Intel. Long and strong. You guys are all in my area there, guys. Good job on Intel. I think that was obvious. I hear you on pins. I'll take a quick peek at pins for you. Give me a second. But let's talk Intel. I have this right here, but you can see the alert, 4820 written down. So 4820 got a monthly. You got this prior support. Man, I would love it if it got down that far. Let's see what happens. It might. I think it depend on the market. I don't think it's going to hold the $50 number. It might actually be a short below 50. But I like the picking up the long down there at that 4820 area. So 4820 is the spot. That's what I'm looking at. Monthly pivot, prior support. Listen, the numbers were not bad. They just missed on their it was their earnings guidance by a little bit, but everything else was okay. Their overall numbers were good, top and bottom line. I think their sales projections were okay, if I remember correctly. But it was their earnings guidance was a little bit off. I think this is going to end up having a nice rebound, this Intel. So we'll see what happens on Intel. Listen, on pins, I know I was asked pins on here for a second. Let me just pull it up. Again, I'm going to tell you guys the same thing. This is so many charts look exactly like this. This stock has done nothing, KH, but make new lows on the daily. Okay, wait for some sort of consolidation to even consider the long on something like this. This is an example of a name, by the way, that everybody was all over. It was a growth name. Everybody was, obviously we could pull this chart back and see where it's been, and you're going back to a name that, just because you know it was a $60 or $70 name. I'm not so sure, where this name is going to. All I know is that I wouldn't be touching it yet with the lows that it keeps making. It's still making new lows. Yeah, I just be listen, this is a great example of, and I'm just trying to, help you guys out, is this is a great example of, have plans, have stop orders in. You could always revisit a name after it breaks lows, and buy it if it holds $17 or wherever. Who knows where I can't answer that question, what I should do when I'm down 95% of my account, or I'm not your broker and I'm not here to give investment advice. Sorry. But listen, it sounds like if you find yourself writing names down and just writing them, maybe you're scared to take losses. Maybe you don't have a plan for stops, but you guys got to have a full plan on when to stop, guys. I know it sounds harsh, but I'm not going to answer some of the questions you're asking. They're very direct investment questions. Should I reverse and short? Should I do this? I wouldn't be in this name myself. That's just me. I wouldn't be in this name. It keeps making new lows on the daily. Okay, this is a name that just keeps making new lows. I would wait for some consolidation, make for a higher low. Even here, it didn't make a higher low. Do you see a higher low on the daily? It held, maybe it consolidated, came back in, made a new low. So this name has done nothing but make new lows. Even here, made a little push right into a 126 day, faded back, right? Made a new low. This is not a name that right now looks like a strong name to me. And this is a lot of mistakes that have happened on names like, Peloton, and, everybody's trying to catch this thing. Oh my God, it's so undervalued, and so forth. And they're looking, here was the earnings, right? Just keeps coming lower, lower, lower. Do you see any higher lows in Peloton? So, just be careful on these names, guys. Some of these growth names that just are not showing any type of life. I think there's a lot of cash out there. I think it's going to come into the market, and I think it's going to come into some of the smart names. So just be very, very careful about that. It's 9:05, guys. I'm going to end this one. You guys, did a great job as always with the Goose games. I appreciate you guys so much. I really, really do. Hopefully I helped you out a little bit on that KH. Just be careful. Make sure you guys have a plan. And listen, guys, sometimes the mental, I don't know if you guys have noticed this or not. Have you guys ever been in a position you're down 50% on or 40% and it's just killing you? Every day you come in, it comes a little lower and you're going, what the hell? Finally, you kick it, and guess what happens within a day or two? You feel free again. The mental part of this game is so crazy. Just make sure you guys remember that. I know it's hard to take losses, but sometimes you take these losses, you can compartmentalize those losses. You got a free mind to think. You got cash ready to go, and you can move forward. You gotta always be moving forward, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Just remember to make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys leave comments. Make sure you guys come over to TrueTrader.net. You know, there's a lot of this stuff that we cover daily. You know, Ricky spends a ton of time in the lounge going over individual having 100, I don't know what you call them, 100-page threads or whatever with individuals that are struggling in the lounge. I mean, come over and check us out at TrueTrader.net. If you guys are struggling, there's no reason not to give it a try. All right, guys? Appreciate you guys a ton, and look forward to seeing you guys all next week. Have a great weekend if I don't talk to you. Thank you, guys.